Hello everybody and welcome back to One Good Boy Plays Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2, where I am your host, GoodboiCharlie, and I am here to provide you with some light entertainment for the evening. I am playing Restitutor Calradium, where I will be attempting to reunite the Calradian Empire under one banner, specifically mine. I am playing an unmodded playthrough where I have Empire troops that I am trying to do particular things with, but I've also played a lot of this game in my spare time, so I am fully aware of some slightly more lucrative methodologies for what I could be doing right now. So I have done a very long couple of little independent trials running at this, where I've tried a few different things. I've got some men's here. I've learned how to use the hotkeys for shift and the control, which is lifted here, so that you can press and hold shift so that you do 5 upgrades, and you can do control if you want to do all of them. You can also use this menu up here, and obviously this menu to gather all of the potential upgrades and things that you have available. I feel like I am going to have some trouble with income if I don't do some relatively lucrative options. My leadership has gone up, that's nice. 2 XP to all my troops in the party is good. The combat tips upgrade is good. And I'm never really going to be dealing with garrisons, so what can I say? That seems like a relatively straightforward option to me. You may notice that the sound quality is a little bit different. This time I've decided to trial a 3rd microphone in a couple of months. This one is slightly more designed for what I'm intending to use it for. We'll see if it has any effect whatsoever. I'm intending to go towards Wholesome Folk, which is a pretty nice place that sells things for cheap and will allow me to create a nice outwards base direction in lots of different parts of the continent. Many different potential options for where I can potentially go from there. I feel like I've got some things. Currently I've got a few of these boys, and I've obviously got some armor, some trade goods, but the main thing is I've also learned how to ridiculously exploit the smithing system in this game, which I'm sure that most people already knew how to do, but for me it was an absolute eye-opener. Oh, Radagus, you've decided to tell me where my brother is. Maris! Good to see you, believe it or not. I mean that I've been looking all over for you. Where's my brother? Good question. He wants to tell me everything. Tell me all the things, please, Radagos. We found your little brother and sister, but my former partner, Golter, betrayed me. We came into his camp to negotiate the release, and he sees us right then and there. Such a terrifying thing. What scum, eh? Even his profession, double-crossing your comrades, is frowned upon. I escaped. One of his men, a little guiltier than the rest, cut my bonds while the others were sleeping, but I can't let the traitor live, so I decided to find you and offer you a deal. I know where Golter is. If you agree, we can attack together and save your kin. What in return, I get the pleasure of murdering the boy. Murdering the boy. I feel like that's a relatively good deal. How can we possibly trust one another, though? Oh, you can't trust me, and if you need me, and I'll figure... Oh, you can't trust me, but you need me, and I figure you have enough men that you could easily slit my throat pretty quickly if I led you into a trap. And I don't need to trust you. You're my vehicle for revenge. Vehicle! Basically, if I go over here, I get my brothers and sister back, which is exciting news for me. Generally. I also have the potential of buying some things on the cheap. I feel like I also want to go get some camels. The secondary update of this situation is that I am on update 1.8, which means I am now dealing with a different situation in the economy for what we were dealing with before. The economy is very different in 1.8. It's actually a lot more balanced and better, to be relatively honest. But there's also things like camels, which I'm a big fan of, got to admit. Just going to get myself a quick drinky poo, and then we'll go on our way. Maybe to go get our siblings, just so that we've got some good boys to do some stuff with. And then we can decide whether we're going to escort this merchant caravan for some good experience, or go up to Dansika and go try and get my trade skill up a little bit higher, which I do want. I feel like I'm also going to potentially, at some point, go off and have a little look for some specific items that I'm going to be hopefully buying from the market stall near Dansika, because there are some wonderful materials that I need to be able to do stuff. And if I want to do that, I have to do things. So I've got 11 legionaries as well. No, I'm not going to hire these guys. Alright boys, let's go have a little look and see what we can find. Oh, I finally arrived. A few things to tell me before the attack. We have to be clever. Galter is a cunning fellow in a low and base kind of way. I've defeated you. I know how your gang operates. Less talking, more raiding. Bet you did. Bet you did. Okay, so we wait until nightfall to attack. Most of the time that I've been playing Bannerlord, I've also been watching other people play Bannerlord on this wonderful website that we call YouTube. Big fan of Jackie Fish, who did a lot of cool series with modded stuff, and it seems to me that people seem to play Sandbox a lot more than they play the actual campaign, probably because the campaign's quite repressive when you try and do certain things. I'm not going to take too many risks in this one because I feel like it's very important that I be successful, get my boys back, and do some relatively solid work there, gents. We shall see what the option is. Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So, I've got some boys. It seems like it always just sends in random guys into my thing, because it's got Urukas, it's got my wonderful Silverbeard. Look, you guys go, and I'll just follow you along, why not? Let's go for a little runny poo. And I'll take out my big sword. So, the thing about bandit hideouts is, generally they attack them in small groups, which is pretty useful for leveling up different things. I mean, obviously I've got some javelin men, and I've got my hero who's got a javelin at least. He are indeed. More boys! Excellent. Oh, you're shooting my companions. That's not really germane to friendly conversation. I'm going to go to this. How many of these? It's quite hard to see against the black outline of the sky what the bar at the top says about how many of these guys are left. The only people that I've had downed are luckily heroes who have not apparently died this time. Murder is left in this game. Depending upon the settings that you've turned on. I think I made it quite as mean as I could, but I did also make this on 1.7.2, I think. Which means that I can't remember if I had access to all my boys dying when bad things happen. We shall certainly see. I'm just going to quickly turn this a little bit more towards me. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's see where we're going now. Very exciting. I also did quite a lot of sound tests on this mic leading up, so I'm fully aware of the fact that if I lean back too much or do not adjust the microphone to be in front of my mouth, it will begin to be quiet. So, you know, if everybody decides that they will just jump into this particular situation and let me know whether the fuck I am actually on mic or not, that would be absolutely fan-fucking-tastic, guys. But you know, we'll probably find out after the fact. So, once we've beaten all of these boys up, as anybody in previous situations occur, there will be some more guys coming to fight me. This gentleman and all of his friends, with his big sword and his dickbag nature. What to do? The question is, what to do? He led us here. Where are my brothers and sisters? I don't dual slavers. Shit out of them! Ooh, that did a lot of damage to me. I look very hurt. Unacceptable conduct. We did win. I agree. Victory to Nova Roma. Some Khuzate peasants. I feel like, I mean, getting some horse archers wouldn't be the worst of things. And getting some more prisoners to trade in is just, you know, good practice. So Sumpter horse, mule. We've got a Sumpter horse. Step horse is better than Sumpter horse, so that's nice. Yep, 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 yep. And you take this large cloth on your head. And you be thankful for it, sir. Exciting. Alright, so we've beaten up this particular camp, which means that we now get... Da-da-da-da! It's going to load. Well, firstly a screen asking us what we're going to do with this gentleman. Look, we can still talk. I'll give you a pouch of silver. Sorry, Galter. Radagos has his own ideas about what we need to do. Boy's dead. So Nathanos looks a little bit odd in this one. His hair is not my favourite layout. I am interested if anybody ever does end up watching this, if people were to come on and like chat while we're playing. I'm not tied to the name Nathanos, for example, or to anybody in the situation. I'm more interested in what happens. So Radagos looks like he's gotten my kin back to me. Correct. End of our deal is complete. Making yourself scarce now. So here comes the first of the big boy choices. And I don't think I'm going to see you again. And I think really I'm going to get people to be angry at me if I do some stuff. I've never really done the murder Radagos option. I feel like he generally does the right thing for me. He does what I ask him to. So I tend to keep him on task. I'm now going to go and see if I can go to... Ooh, lovely. Number one. Because we're in 1.8, we have the opportunity to say, "Excuse me, please, sir. Could you just return to my situation? I need to get another companion." Don't create parties unless you have lots of money, guys. That's something. Because right now, as you can see, I'm already bleeding money. And I have, what, one brewery in Vostrum? That's nice. I feel like I need to get more things to trade. And see what the economy looks like. Right? That's the biggest one, is I need to make some money. Right? I've got Nathanos with me now. Excellent news. Mainly by doing things like selling these wonderful mules. I tend to do it in a, like, if I buy for I generally try and buy my pack animals for under 40 gold per thing, and then I generally try and sell them for above 100. If I'm feeling like spicy, I might go down to 90. But the main reason that I want to come here is because I want these wonderful, beautiful, amazing throwing knives. Not because they're any actual good at doing throwing knife things, but more because they are extremely good for smelting, which I'm very happy about. So I'm going to just quickly take half of them for now, and then go and get some more stuff to sell, because I can probably make it quite a pretty penny going up to the nearby cities. Generally, Cianira, Ornira, Vostrum, Dansika tend to be very good for selling pack animals too, or any animals per se, specifically horses and camels. Alea, you are age 16, and I would like... Wow, that is a fantastic haircut. Absolutely gorgeous. My sister. Alright, I would like you to be an envoy because social is very important, as is intelligence. But I'm gonna burnish your social skills yet again. You can be charming. Super charming for me, please. And then she gets a third little area where she gets a boost, which seems to be Wigger and stabbing. So, not bad. Now we are on the big 1200 gold pieces, which is, it's okay. It's not my favourite thing. I feel like we're just going to make most of our money into this. I feel like we're just going to get rid of this for now. I mean, in the future I will be able to get some perks which will allow me to trade in the clothing and weaponry that I've got for experience for my troops. But I do not... Oh, I did not want to do that. I did not want to get rid of the Puglio. Very important. Very important to me. But yeah, I can basically just control-click whichever bits that I want to get rid of, and it will sell all of them. I'm now making a grand, so that's pretty good. I feel like I can afford more mules for such input. Can go and then sell those mules and get some more Pugios. For me, I need to generally go down to about a grand, I'd say. Yeah, that's pretty good. That still means I am doing pretty good on the front of speed. Second thing, extend this because then you can see how quick you are. It's very important that you extend the shrink map bar, or whatever the fuck it's called. And now I'm moving at a solid 4 pace. Which reminds me, do I have a very good scout? Yes, he's pretty okay. He's not super great. I do want to be the quartermaster because I do want to get the points. I do kind of want to be the surgeon as well, but right now, how much better? You're not much better, actually. Okay, I'd like to quite do scout, but scout's better than I am at movements, so I feel like I'm going to stick with that. Generally, the quartermaster helps you put more boys into your army. The scout gets you faster. The surgeon makes you lose less men when they get knocked out, and the engineer helps you build shit when you are in Elsigi. Phasos is 13 years of age. He's got a thirst for knowledge that he just cannot quench, and I think he's going to be good at the stewardship for various reasons. Now, we've got the gang needing recruits, we've got some brigands that needs help with, that's fine. Right now, for me, this is not worth a huge amount of money. What could I get rid of? I could just get rid of a couple of these guys and just take, I don't know, 1 Puglio? I don't really have too much money. We need the charcoal. This is complicated. How do I want to do this? I will get rid of 1 Mule as well, and then I can get another Puglio, and then I'm just paying a little bit of money. And I'm going to go, ooh, Maris gained a level! Very exciting. So, I need to get riding up of ride, charge damage versus maneuvering, and honestly, I'm going to go for charge damage because, well, I'm probably not going to be leading too many formations. I could, and that's the important thing. I'm good on trade, I'm good on leadership, I'm good on stewardship. Stewardship is very important. I need that to be higher, and I'm going to go for... I'm just going to buff into social until I get like 8 points, because this is going to firstly buff my learning limit for all of these wonderful skills, but it just means that I'll be a bit more specialised for my leadership and trade, which I do kind of need. Charm is also extremely good. I do need to do more missions for some of these Empire folk to try and get some good things going. Oh, of trade? Unacceptable. I don't think I need to get rid of any of this. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, son. If we just get enough building materials through the smithing system, we're going to be absolutely fine for money past that point, because once you've gotten that up and running, you don't really have too much to... Oh my god, it's not even that much gooder! Well, this is unacceptable. I do need those Puglios, though. Let's just see if we can make like a little bit of money with what we've got. Why not? Why not? So you're 15 smithing. I feel like you can probably smelt with one of these gents because it will just be a little bit more efficient for the Puglios. Well, that's not many of these. So we've got 5, 5, 5, 14. We could get more. The reason why the Puglios are good is obviously because you have 4 different yields that you get off of this. You get raw iron, you get steel, and you get fine steel. These are very good because this means that you can make a wide variety of weapons from a relatively cheap source. I think that the best thing to do is probably begin the process of explaining exactly how this system works. I'm going to try something a little bit different for this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and then you might hear me repeat a couple of things, but I'm going to try my absolute best to talk through how best to actually exploit the smithing system in this game, because I think it's actually very useful information for someone who's just getting started. I might, in fact, even cut that out of the video and then produce it as a slightly more short duration piece of content. So, to anybody who's interested in seeing what we're going to do here, we're going to actually see what happens with smithing exploitation. So with smithing, there are this is a Mount and Blade Bannerlord thing. This is basically the way to make an extreme amount of money from very few resources. So the main thing is you've got a couple of different skills that you're going to want to get when you get a little bit higher. You can see that my guy Maris here only has the smithing level of 15 of a wee bairn, which means he's not going to have too many opportunities to get those things. But there are some resources down here below which are useful to be able to produce different weapons, and this is good because some of those weapons can be sold for extreme amounts of money. So the main things that we need is hardwood, which is this over here, and we also need these, known as pugios. These are particularly good smelting components. These can be turned into raw materials that can be used to produce weapons, and they produce quite a lot of raw iron, and they also produce iron, steel and fine steel. This is good because those are up to the second best type of crafting material that you can get basic, allowing you to make quite high value weapons for a very small amount of money invested. These cost generally about 230 gold pieces. So then there are two things that you need to kind of be aware of. You can basically smith these great swords, two-handed swords, which in the long term are kind of your best option for financial output. And then you obviously, well, I say obviously, then you also have throwing axes over here, which are very good because you generally start with a tier 4 head, and there's only 3 different options for you to be able to build. So I will go through the process of this, but right at the beginning, what you want to do is you want to just absolutely increase the size, and you want to absolutely increase the size of the handle as well, and this will generally make you something pretty worthwhile in terms of selling it. While you're making these as well, you might unlock the other parts. Generally, I tend to say that this one, the throwing axe head, and this hard and short throwing axe handle, I believe, are the 2 which I would say is best for producing a money-making opportunity. You also potentially have one other thing, which is when you are creating the two-handed swords, there are lots of different parts that you can kind of unlock with these, and generally some of them are a lot better than others. So I think that when you're crafting a two-handed sword, what you're mainly looking for is you're looking for a way to increase the swing cut damage, because this is where you're going to be getting most of your damage while using this, either on a mount or off. So you then try and lengthen the size of the blade. For the tier 1 blades, you wish to get the simple warsword blade, which is this one, which is the best way to get swing cut damage out of the first tier. If you can unlock some of the other options, you can also try and get the Nobbled Iron Guard, which is a good tier 1, and then you can get you normally start with this tier 2 level wrapped handle, so you should probably keep that. But if you don't start with that, which I would be very surprised with, there is specifically the bound hide grip, which is this guy, and he is I say he, it is generally the best that you can get within the tier 1 range of handles. This over here, you have the tier 1 pommels, and you're generally trying to unlock the globe pommel, because this gets you all the way up, and as you can see, if you have all of those unlocked, you can get a very nice 93 points of swing cut damage. If you're going to tier 2, it's slightly different. In tier 2, you would generally be going for in the blades, you wish to go for the Iron Spatfer blade, which is somewhere around here. This gets it up another little bit. You can see it's gone up to 109 there. Then you've got the tier 2 guard, which is the Bowl Guard. This one over here gets it up to 109, and then the tier 2 on the big pommels is the faceted pommel, and this one actually retains being the best pommel that you can get for quite a while. Quite a lot of the pommels in tier 3 don't actually match up with it, but you can also go and go up to the mushroom pommel eventually, which gets you the same amount. For the handles, there is a tier 2 one which is generally just a little bit better. If I remember correctly, it is the long hide grip one over here, which looks very fancy and has a nice little rainbow handle. If that one goes up, you can see 112 there. For the Bowl Guard, that one actually does stay one of the better guards that you can gain access to for quite a while. You won't make quite as much money off of it once you've unlocked the tier 3s. They can make you just a little bit more, but they are very good in terms of blade. And then on the in terms of tier 2 and damage, the tier 3 ones you generally wish to go for this tapered Cascara blade, Cascara blade. My apologies, and that gets you up to 126, which is generally where I've started making like between 8,000 for each weapon that you're making. But right now, obviously, all that I've got access to is this very simple set of normal things that are not quite as good as the alternatives provided. So I'm just going to make the best that I can with what I've got. I actually don't know which of these two is better. It looks like the ring pommel gets you a couple more points, so I'm going to go for that. And then just have no crude iron, so therefore cannot create it. Unfortunate. But what you will be able to see from over here is that we do have a nice 1000 throwing axe, which we made from some of the materials that we got, which is pretty good. If we were to get potentially some more of these, this will get us some more monies into the pot. As we get better at smithing, it will begin to make us more money with each time we make stuff. So that is pretty good. I'm generally just going to get 3 more, and that should potentially get me enough to be able to keep going. So thank you very much. If you were just watching that, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or just come back. And for those of you who came for the entire thing, welcome back to me not talking as if this is some kind of pre-recorded video. Exciting news. Back to streaming. Obviously, that's quite a rambling all over the place explanation of what you can do with smithing, but I hope that if someone stumbles upon this once as a time capsule, they find it interesting. Smithing is good, you make money. What can I say? I'm not making a huge amount of money currently, but that's because I'm rather focusing on some other basic things like travel around. It seems like we are not going to make too much money out of here, which is a bit of a shame. We could get even more Pugios, but that is not necessarily on the cards in terms of long-term investment. We need to find a big bank way to get some money, and I feel like the best way we're going to do it is potentially heading towards Britannia, where there are, or in a game that starts on 1.8, there are at least 3 cities which are very, very good for selling draft animals which will help you carry things. Accidentally opened the character explorer there, which you can do. That is basically a way of finding out what other people are lying around Calradia doing interesting things. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere which we would want to stop on the way up. I feel like Amatatis is pretty much good for that. I feel like Lycaron is just going to give me more draft animals. I feel like this is one of those confusing ones where I started this game on a previous version and therefore it might not quite have synced up in the way that it does when 1.8 starts up, which has all the changes to the economy which are in the beginning. There's a nice little hideout here. I'm sure that we can make some money. I think that the main thing that we want to do is we need eventually more logs, but we need to sell some shit real quick before we start bankrupting ourselves. Amatatis! I am a Tatus. So poor! So poor. Alright, even less! Well, give me some money off of this. Sell some fine steel just to make a little bit of extra bank and get me tided over until I go to another location. And go up to Rete. And I'm losing bank in general, but that's okay. Money to be made in places. I'm just going to sell them for 4 grand, that's pretty good. Gets me a nice little bank amount to start with. I should probably get rid of my prisoners, make some roguery points, and also a little bit of extra money. That's town centre. I can now get more... Ooh, there's no Pugios in this part of the town. I guess they're more of a Southern Empire thing, potentially. I feel like they're generally everywhere. It's just... I may not have had the luck of a draw on that one, son. That said, time to go up and potentially go and have a little look at Manora. Marunaf. I am English, I should be able to pronounce the Celtic, but no. I know it's not really Celtic. It's very similar to Celtic, though. Oh, Caladog. Do you want to just tell me about the Battle of Pendrake? There's always time to talk about the Battle of Pendrake. Our old beloved King Aeril, a wonderful man but with a heart perhaps just might too close to tender, did not wish for us to go to war, but then he disappeared and I, his son-in-law, ascended to the kingship. The clan cried out for war, they had hundreds of crimes against them to avenge. I, as father to my people, gave them what they wanted. Now the Empire uses tricks and traps in war. No Britannian fears to meet an Imperial soldier man to man, but he thought it would be a good laugh to use their tricks against them, so we laid an ambush on both sides of a wooden pass. And wouldn't you know, they marched right into it. They turned and twisted our arrows rained upon them. They're like fish in a frantic pond as you draw a net tighter, but then when they were greatly discomfited, we took upon our flaxes and swords and reaped the harvest. Oh, there was some unpleasantness later with the Sturgeons about the spoils of war, but what a grand day it was. Thank you for letting me know about how Nuitsi's didn't really keep his eye on the ball. That is always really good to know. So, when you come to the Britannian Kingdom, or the Britannian Kingdom, these three cities, Manarath, Pencannock, and Dunglans, are all very good for selling stuff, and then Carban Seth is generally good at selling you some more horses, so this is a good place to generally make a little bit of dollar. It's not a huge amount of money. I feel like I can probably make more in some of the other places, so I'm just going to kind of let that happen a little bit. I'll make the 600 just to get the extra dollar. Can I get any wood from this place? Because wood is worth its weight in wood to me. No, I cannot. I'm not going to bother with buying iron ore. I actually do not think it's worth it, but I will get some tools, because every now and then somebody wants you to get them tools, and that is an easy way to make good renown and XP. So I'm going to instead go up to Dunglari, and then I'm going to go down to Pencannock. I might do a stop up at Carbon first, just to see if I can pick up a couple of more moots to sell. Excellent news. This is what we love to see. At some point, pretty soon. Those Imperial Chargers are very cheap, so I will be taking them as well. Because they affect my speed, and they also give me mounts to do mount things with. I will be going to Glenfrink over there to get some more logs at some point, because the economy is involved. Now, these are all very cheap as well. Extremely cheap mounts for me. Very good. I'll get some of these. 20 wheels, 30 wheels. I'll get 2 of them. Yeah, I'll get quite a lot of stuff, to be honest. 13, 14, 15. Why not? I've got 930 in terms of monies. I've leveled up my trade so that I can do some good boy selling. Villagers and caravans doesn't really matter. Issues resolved with merchants, issues resolved with artisans. I feel like I'm going to take merchants because they tend to be more powerful, which is helpful. As you can see, Nathanos, he's got quite a lot going on here. I feel like primarily what I might do is I might invest most of this stuff when I'm off air, just so that I don't do too much. I suppose I could potentially do a couple of little skill tree things. So I guess that's something which I can do. If you're going for steward, this is one which has a couple of things which is very useful to people who are just starting. I feel like I'll go through them, not all at once right now. I'll probably do it over a period of time. But steward gets you increase in party size, and generally you can gain it from food variety and also from being a governor and completing some projects. So at the beginning, you have two choices. You've got frugal, which is party wages are 5% less, recruit and cross are reduced by 15, and you've got party consumes 10% less food and have a single food type. I almost always go for frugal with this one just because it's always better to get a bit less wage. Garrison wages are very important. You've got drill sergeant here, 2% 2 XP per every troop in the army, and then garrison wages are 5% less. And then you've got tier 4 troops gain 4% XP and 1 militia per day. Militia is good, but I almost always go for the reduction in garrison wages, because if you're going to have a large garrison which you get to pick, it will generally be more defensive than you picking out and attacking with militia, which are what the other stat boosts. You have reduced food consumption in an army, garrison wages are less in castles, and then you've got workshops that have increased production, which is a personal skill, meaning that you get that for any workshops that you specifically own, I believe. Generally, there's a breakdown of what the little things in brackets say means what it will affect. So personal will affect you, whether you're in an army, whether you're in a caravan, whether you have a party, whether you are a companion, and quartermaster will affect you only if you are the quartermaster. Unsurprisingly, quartermaster and governor being someone who runs a settlement, they will only give the benefit of garrison wages for castles being reduced if they are acting as governor for that castle. This will also not reduce garrison wages for towns. It will only do it for castles. This is very good because 20% is a lot less to be paying, so I probably will be going for that. Siege engines being built is pretty good, as is workshops, but for someone I'm going to be using as a governor at some day, which I am going to use Nathanos for that, I would go for stiff upper lip. Then you've got this one, which is raids go faster and troop wages are decreased while you're in an army, and then you've got discarded armors can be donated for experience, companion wages are and fees are reduced for when you're a party leader. Generally, this one I will get for if I am running my own party, so this one when I get to this level with Maris, I will be getting paid in promise. But with efficient campaigner, Nathanos will be able to decrease his troop wages while he's in an army, which is incredibly good when I have formed a kingdom and am going to be an independent boy with my own army of boys coming to support me. Then you've got Giving Hands. This one is discarded weapons can be donated for increased experience. This is very, very good. This plus this generally means that you can level up an army extremely quickly. So when I'm doing it for myself, I will get paid in promise and I will get Giving Hands. With this one, tax income being higher when you're a governor, this one obviously gives tariff income. Tax income is worth more than tariff. So if you're going to use someone as a governor, party morale is pretty good, you know, if you have cavalry, but it's not really going to be what you're going for, because having that many mounts is, well, something that I do quite a lot because I like to sell them, but other people less so. But yeah, I'm going to go with Logistician because I'm going to put him as a governor, which will increase the tax income of whatever place I put him in. Aid the corpse, do not pay wounded soldiers, extremely good, as is increasing village half rate when you're a governor. Project boosting being more effective is also good. This basically means that when you put money into a town, it will cause you to build buildings quicker. Right, this is good. And donating troop influence increases by 25%. These are basically both very good for someone who you're going to create a party with or someone who you're going to put in as governor, so I'm going to do that for Nathanos. So, will look slightly different when you're doing it for yourself, but if you're doing a companion, this is generally my suggestion for what you should do for your stewardship points. I will come back and do some more stuff to do with that later, but I am also going to just quickly boost that with some good boy points, get the intelligence up to a good 4 to start at least. I'll probably allocate these points as well. I like my party members, my family members especially, to have good social. I'll give a couple of points of endurance because I want him to be able to do smithing. 1 point in cunning, maybe a couple of points in vigor. He's going to be melee. Don't really need to put any in control because he's not going to be doing any of the long range stuff really. I'm actually going to put that 7th point actually in, you know what, I'm going to use him as a governor, so I'm going to put it in int. Just to boost up that level a little bit more, try and get it up to the top. Price of loyalty is extremely good, reducing wages, morale decrease, food consumption, just by morale, is just for every level over 200, which is real good. 0.5%, 75, that's a good 35% off at the top of all 3 of those things. So I've now got a lot of horses that I can go and take to a different part of the map and sell, which is good. I'm going to go down to Pencannock over here, and then I'm probably going to go over west, well, sorry, south to Sargot, because there's a couple of good Valandian territories where you can sell horses, which is, I suppose, unsurprising, due to their famous love of the horses. As you can see, all of these are worth significantly more money now, literally just a little bit to the south. I'm going to mainly keep most of my good horses because, you know, I can probably make more off of them elsewhere. I might do one of these just to get the 800 back in, but I'm mainly going to get rid of my pack animals because they will be not increasing my speed quite as much as the other stuff. Having 4 grand in here is good. We'll probably be coming back here relatively shortly. Let's go to Sargot. So right now we have workshop income of 111. This is because we only have one workshop. Once we've gotten the second workshop, that will be slightly higher. We should also probably be starting a caravan. We don't have any caravans currently, do we? No. This is an incredibly lucrative way of making money, caravans, but it is extremely dangerous late game because you will be risking them to enemies who will be attacking you on the map. You do not want to deal with that. So it seems like generally it's a little bit less good over here in terms of this, but I'm gonna sell these guys just because they're cheap. I tend to, when they are not as lucrative, sell the sumpter horses, and when it's incredibly lucrative I get rid of the mules because they tend to be worth just that tiny bit more. I'm very tempted to just start moving south and go through the Azrai lands because that's where I'm going to get camels. Camels will absolutely wreck the economy of the north up here. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of some of these boys for some good monies. Might even, it's a fair amount of money. I might get rid of, yeah, I'll get rid of that. That's a good 2 grand. That'll get me up to 5 grand. That means I can start heading towards some of the Empire territories over here and go towards Koyaz, which one day, if we're very lucky, might rebel, allowing us to take it. I'm going to try and move a little bit quicker than I did in the last set of episodes. You'll see that I kind of moved around a lot in episodes 1, 2, and 3, trying to get my economy up and running, but I think that there's definitely more direct ways of doing that. Having played for a little while, I'm basically just going to try and get a lot of money together in a very short space of time to get my wages subsidised. Once my wages are subsidised, I'll be able to do some slightly more interesting things in terms of trying to turn the map a different colour. Now, Austrasia makes some money. Pugios? Yeah, there's only one though. That's not super great that there's only one. The tools are only worth 99. Everything else is pretty cheap currently. I'm just gonna go south really. Go and buy as many mounts as I need to from Kuyaz and from Eskar. I'm also going to go and sell them in Sanala and Quazira. I'm going to buy from Ikais, Iakis. I'm probably going to buy from Hubidar and sell in Rezia. So that's a nice little trade run in terms of buying and selling mounts. That will make you a lot. The courier has arrived with a marriage offer for Nathanos. Yes, I will allow you to marriage her, please. Angarios of Pecomnos. He proposes, well, it's a tie to Garios's people, which is exciting. I don't think I've ever had Nadea in my family before. Nice little animation of my boy getting married here. This is a new thing in 1.8, which wasn't available in the previous versions. Pretty cool. The 18th day of spring. Huzzah! So many Empire boys. Everybody wearing fine clothing. Excellent news. Thank you for marrying into my family. That is exciting. I will be asking you to come when you are not in transit. Because having more boys is always good. It's going to be expensive having her, unfortunately. Ooh, the pack camel is 54. That is, it's quite expensive for an intake pack camel, but I'm going to want as many of those guys as possible, so I'm willing to do it for now. Is there anything else? I could sell some tools. I feel like selling 5 tools so that I am still making money is pretty good. I feel like I need to make sure that I'm maintaining as I move along. Charm, exciting. Run renown for each issue resolved is good. And influence from battles is also good, but I'm not particularly interested in that as much, just because influence is going to be good, but there's so many ways to get influence. Renown's a little bit harder. I need that to happen. Personal grievances, I do not want persuasion critical fail. That's true. Negative relation NPC increase is good. Powerful settlement NTCs is a governor thing, which I don't really gain benefit from, so I'm just going to go forgivable grievances. Hopefully making me some more friends. I'll then go for that. Now, I've only got 17 food, so I do need to pay particular attention to that. If I can get a nice variety of food going. What have I got? I've just got grain. Yeah, that would explain it. I'll buy a good 40 fish. I mean, the grain is expensive here. But I do need an... Oh, I didn't mean to get the date fruits in. Sorry about that. I do need to get some grain up currently. Olives, I'll also get a good 20 of these guys. Grapes, I think I'll get 10, just because I do need variety, because this will get me food variety on my party morale, which will get me increases in stewardship. I'm now going to try and go and get some more... Yes, that is right. More horses to be able to sell some stuff around the place. It seems like Gyarios is really having it out for the Azrite this time, which is pretty cool. It seems like, ooh, Unquid. I don't really want to waste too much time having to follow you, sir. If you end up coming close to me, I will do some stuff. But you're not my biggest thing that I want going on right now. It's like Gyarios has got his boys running around. Exciting. Askar! Oh, Askar, oh, Askar, will you give me what I want? Yes, for cheap, but unfortunately not many of them. I'm just gonna get a good 25 sumpter horses, and I think I can probably do... That's gonna leave me with not much money. Let's get me down to about $1,000. That should do it. I could also go for the war camel. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for the war camel, and I'm going to go for the 4 desert horses, and I'm going to give some of the mules back, because I think that that is going to be the best way of making sure that I get some money to transition. 800. How much money am I spending per turn? I'm spending 325, but it's actually only 290. I think I should be able to make it on that. That's a generally good option. Good. Now I just need to make it back to Sanala and try and sell some of these things. I am moving very slowly because I've got lots of animals with me and not so many men's. I might pick up some more men at Hammerschwat. I did not also grab the logs when I was in Britannia, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly get some of these guys. Is that a tribesman? Yep, tribesmen are good because they can be turned into archers. The Azrai have pretty good shooters. So Nala. 49 boys. Now, what we want to do is we want to trade stuff here. Pack camels are not worth a huge amount here, in fact, but the desert horses are worth something. Now, we might sell one of them as well. That'll get me another day. And we might as well sell some fine steel because it's worth quite a lot here as well. Let's just get some money in so that we can transition effectively. And then we can decide what we're going to do when we get to the next place. Okay, everybody. Okay. Moving faster than we were. We ourselves are probably going to try and marry Ira, just so that we get a nice high skill level wife to support us and help us with all the things we do. So Desert Horse worth more now. which is good. Camel, it's worth something, but that's not quite as much as I would like. This is worth some money, so I'm just going to get rid of some of these guys, because I feel like it's worth it to sell them, but not worth it to sell some of the higher value boys while we are dealing with this situation. I'll get rid of a desert horse again as well, just to kind of make a little bit of money. And then we can start making our way down towards Razia. I think Calradia is going to potentially have more things for me to buy, which is exciting. But that's about it. Excellent. Increased our relationships. Marius gained a level. I imagine that came because you are staying in a place. So if you just come and join me, milady. I realise that that is a bad way of talking to people. It's more of a joke. I realise that there are some people who do not use that as a joke, and I do not feel like it's very good for those people. Oliwas Wellit. Oliwas Wellim. Meaning that I would like olives. Piscus non velum. I would not like fish. It is expensive. These guys are quite cheap. It's kind of tempting, but they will be consumed relatively quickly, which is not necessarily going to help me the most. If I go to Marul, maybe it will help me. Right now, what I'm mainly going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to get the money, and I'm also going to be trying to grow. Grow. We do love to see it when people grow. Get some pack camels in there. It seems like because this has started on a different version, it is not quite all showing up, or rather it hasn't built up quite the bank of different animals that happens when you get to these places a little bit later in the game. These seem to only have just started producing camels now, which is understandable. I imagine it means that people are probably going to be buying them a lot, but it also I imagine means that they're probably worth quite a lot as well. So, potato. Ooh, lovely. Worth more money. Ooh, okay. This is slightly better. Again, I still think this is more worth some to horse money rather than mule money, or especially not camel money. We do have enough where we can probably start buying Pugios now to forge a lot of different stuff. We also need to get some logs so that we can actually begin to smith and smelt. You over here, give me some more good boys to sell, if that's okay. Camel. Just the camel for me, please. I think I have 2 grand. We might as well. We might as well stop off at Husenflock. 50 boys! So many lads here to help us. That's nice. So do we have anyone to sell? No, we don't. Do we have anyone to buy? We do. I will buy all of those. And you as well. Yep, that'll do. I feel like we're going to have to sell some of something when we get to Danistika. Whether it is worth a significant amount of money or not. We should probably head up towards Vostrom. This time we've gone up towards Onira. We could go to Cyrenea. Yeah, Cyrenea is probably going to be worth it, to be honest. Alright. Now, excellent news. Well, less excellent news, actually. I got confused because I looked at camel rather than pack camel. I thought it was worth 200. I'll sell a desert horse. I'll sell... What do I want to sell? Piscus. Sell the fish. 344 is a sufficient amount of money. We're losing 290. That's fine. I feel like heading up through Cianera and up to Chakland is going to... Chakand is going to be the better of the options, because those wonderful Cusate territories, specifically Chikand and the Makeb. Ooh, somebody just rose against that. Ooh, we don't have enough boys to do it right now, but if they are still rebels in a little bit, that is very exciting news. Now, this is slightly more what I was looking for. I'll sell a pack camel for 206. I'll sell some of these guys up to 120. And then I'll just sell some sumpter horses down to 90. And we made a hot 2 grand there. I feel like we could potentially make a little bit more money if we sold a little bit quicker, but I don't know, boys. I don't know. Sell the desert horse as well. Let's just get that little bit of money up and then go up to Cianera. If we can get a sufficient amount of money going to start a big caravan, like a good one. Ooh. I did not mean to do that. It will be good. Good of is. Cianera. Calradia. Mules are worth some money, as are pack camels. Alright, we're just going to go down the mules for this one. I'll do a quick mic adjustment. Hopefully that should be slightly better. And we shall see. Obviously, it's probably not better every time I bash my headphones into the cover there, but there we go. Anything else worth 4? It's only 2 grand we're getting off of there. If we do sell down to 90, 2,800 is pretty good. We've got quite a lot of mules as it is. Okay, rival gang, army of poachers. We'll do the army of poachers. Sir, may I ask your name? I would like to help you with your problem. You would like me to crush some wonderful poachers with my big band of good boys, and I am going to take all but 2 of these with me. Now, the Khuzaits can take an upgrade as well. This is going to be worth slightly more. Now, we want to go to here. To this Piscus place. Place of fish. Do we need any of this? I mean, getting more fish is worth it. And we'll do this mission to get a little bit of XP. Kill those 19 poachers. And then we shall see what we're going to do. So, on the other side of what I've learned in this situation is, I've learned how to battle in a slightly more effective manner, in that normally I would have more archers than this and less infantry, so I feel like I'm going to be exclusively going for more archers at this point. You guys go up to here. For those of you who are not aware, I actually have absolutely no shame in being cheesy with what I'm going to do for a day. I'm more interested in winning, so this should be fun. Let's see if the poachers decide to come. I feel like they're probably mainly going to be coming from up here, so...
Infantry! Move! Move! Forward!
Go there.
Bowman!
Let's go like here.
Forward! Move! Horsemen
You guys come
forward!
back here. Let's go have a little look-see and see what we can do. These 19 boys are going to come from over there. Let's get busy. Alright, so they're shooting at my nomads, which I'm not so happy about. I'm probably going to have to go and distract these guys with my amazing stabbing skills. I'm a stabbing. I'm a stabbing. I'm a stabbing. Excellent. And fuck you in the face. Obviously, getting my recruits shot at, not my favourite things to do, but hey, we're getting some points in terms of something better. Hopefully they should start shooting at my square soon enough. I imagine they are shooting at my square, actually. They got the recruits, those are infantry. Stab. And... stab. Slightly less of them than there were, which is exciting. Haven't our boys on a hill shooting at people? We love to see it. Absolute. So that was pretty good. We lost what? 3 guys, and we've got 3 knocked out as well. It's acceptable conduct. We'll take the poachers. I'll take veteran up to there. We didn't get any more shooting boys out of that, which is a bit of a shame. We did get a cool grand, though. It is normally... You can get more money when you got more men's. Oh, I'm kind of used to playing a little bit further on in the game for now, so I'm kind of like, oh no, I'm only making a grand. Oh, I accidentally pressed some buttons there. That was a mistake. So, Sivir is good at athletics, which is lovely. Slightly increases your persuasion chance. Oh, how wrong I was, giving you movement speed rather than giving you well built. Okay, slightly increase your persuasion chance, increase your party size, increases your prisoner size, and crafting stamina. Now, he's not going to be persuading too many people. He is going to potentially be crafting, so there you go. This will potentially allow me to go over to another one of those. Which things would I give Nathanos when he starts? So let's start with leadership, because I think leadership is a really good place to follow on with from stewardship. So leadership's really important. Leadership increases the morale of the people in your thing and in your party, and they increase the garrison side of the garrison of the place you're governing. They also give you a lot of really, really good perks that will help with many things in future. So when you're a party leader, 2% of XP to all troops in the party is really good, as is increasing recruit level of units from the same culture, because you want to be taking places of the same culture. Raise the meek. It's okay. Each troop in the garrison gains 3 XP per day, and you gain some XP for the lower level troops. But I have to admit, I don't really want my garrison gaining too much XP at a time, because then it starts to cost more. So I always go for combat tips. Then you have Fervent Attacker. Fervent Attacker gives you 4 morale at the beginning of a battle when you're attacking, and increases the rate of retreating low-tier troops. And then there is the defending equivalent bonus and high-tier troops. So high-tier troops generally better than low-tier troops, turns out. Authority. Town garrison is more effective for security. That is good. That will help you, as is party size limit in terms of increasing. Heroic Leader. 1 town loyalty per day. Extremely fucking helpful. Like, loyalty is... when you have a city, loyalty is one of the critical stats, right? It basically means that you will not get rebellions if you have high enough loyalty. So really, if I'm going to be putting someone as a governor, this is something I can't really say no to. The morale increase thing is nice, but not quite as nice as the 5 party increase, but still worth it for the alternative skill. So increasing renowns for battles, and recruited troops start with bonus experience of 200 XP, really good. Tier 3 troops ignore retreat and convert non-bandit prisoners 30% faster. Again, pretty good, but I almost always will be going for that renown boost, because renown is extremely important. So leader of the masses, clan leader specifically on this one, so only when you are clan leader you get 5 for each party size for each town you control, and your heroes share experience when you are a party leader. For a personal one on this one, increase 5 security presence and remove morale from recruiting prisoners of your own culture, very good as well. So really for most of the time I will be going for presence, but when doing for myself I will also happily go for leader of the masses, because I do know you need that. But 5 security is quite a lot for a thing. So I'm just going to quickly give 5 points to this as well. And that is how I would level up Nathanios for leadership. I will potentially add to this as we go along. When I get somebody to the end of a skill tree, I might just talk through the entirety of the thing as well. But for now, this is a nice little cut for how I would do this at this level. So... next on the list of things to do, we have 6 grand. It's pretty good, but it's not exactly what we need. In fact, what we need is, we need a lot of money. We need to see, firstly, if we can get some logs, because we need to be able to produce charcoal to be able to smith, which there is 2 logs, which is quite expensive for 2 logs. That's actually going to end up being more expensive than it's worth. I am going to sell some of this leather, because I don't need it. And I'm going to go... well, firstly, I'm going to get all of the Pugios, if there are any, because I need those in my life currently. Excellent news. 18 Pugios for 3.5 grand. I'll deal with it. And then I'm going to go to the west, where I can start going up to Seanon for stuff to smith with. Maris has gained a skill point in Steward. We love to see it. I will not be continuing this stream for much longer, just because it is a work night, as it were. But I am intending to come back and do a longer stream of this at some point in the near future, just so that I can really get out some Bannerlord itch that I've got on the stream. You'll notice that I've kind of adjusted how I'm doing the schedule, if you have been paying attention, which means that I will be kind of doing more just what I'm interested in doing at the time, what I've got the energy for, what I will be bringing bamboozling opinions from. And I think that will probably just end up being better. I don't think that anybody's here to watch me just do what do a stream because I need to do it, rather than I am interested in doing it in that particular moment. But I will try and still continue to do them in sets of free, because I think that that is a good way of making sure that new content ends up being in the environment. Second thing is, I'm also not going to increase the level of this Imperial Recruit, because it's generally better to get all of the boys in one stack ready to upgrade at the same time, because they will gather XP together. It's one bar, basically. If you attack, if you have 11 different units attacking and filling the same bar, it is going to fill faster than if you have one unit doing it. So having only a couple in each set is not as helpful as people would think. You might obviously lose more men that way, but I'm kind of chill with that, to be honest. So Xenon has Andum over here, which means that it's going to be producing logs at quite a prodigious rate. That has also been true since the beginning. It's also another nice place where you can buy lots of really good mounts, but the main thing I'm coming over to is to have a look at these motherfuckers. If I spend 311, that's pretty good on wood. Just for 20 boys. That's only going to be 10 charcoal until I get somebody who's on the high scale of the charcoal, so I will also need to be making some more money. But I think that I can probably, with that, make sufficient bank that it's going to get me back to my slightly more affordable levels. So, first things first, I'm going to invest in you being the person who I'm going to try and get up to the point where you can do the charcoal stuff. And I'm going to use you to also smelt some of those lovely boys. And then I'm going to get you to go over to the forge, and I'm going to... Yeah, I'm actually going to do it this time. I'm going to try and see what the comparative money-making potential of one of these versus one of the big boy throwing axes is, because I just don't have enough crude iron. I need actual crude iron if I'm going to make swords, which is a bit of a shame. So axes it is. Which means we'll probably make a couple of grand, which I'm kind of chill with. Oh, I actually need wood for that. Whoops. Ugh. Buy products. Question is, how early in the day are we, right? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll do... These are actually really good. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. You're gonna need an upgrade. And that's fine. Okay. You, my friend, need one of these. You already have good boots. You can also get... You know what? Take some horse archery stuff. Just go and shoot some boys, because I feel like it's going to be better for you. We don't have too much money. We bought some products. I feel like we're going to go bankrupt if we don't get there real quick. Yeah, that's good. Alright, enter the smithy. Now we need to actually build. Just do the quick way. Crafted flowing axe. I am going to make 2 of them. It's only 2 grand, but it's worth it. That does mean we haven't unlocked, unfortunately, any other handles yet. When we can get to the point where we're making 3 grand ones of these, it will be very good. Right now, I will take the 2 grand and sell some of the extra stuff that I've got. I will potentially also get some of these. Nah, it's going to be worth it to just keep that. I'll just get rid of some of these. War camel's worth a lot of money. Fuel charge is cheap. I'm going to get that. $2,800, please, sir. We'll go and get more wood later. Once we have gotten up and running with the smithing, it will be worth getting all of this stuff going. It's just unfortunately right now, it's money. Alright. That's cool. 750 is a good amount. War camel's not actually worth that much here. Only 148 for these. Iron, fine steel, raw iron. How many of... I mean, they're more expensive, so no. Fuck you. On to Dunglangis. Trade S. I think it's kind of worth it to sell the camels for that grand at that point, because it's going to get me some nice points in trade, as well as get me some dollar bills. And then we'll have a little look at what we got in Carbanseth, and then probably take it from there, I think, at the next time. The Britannian ponies are worth some monies. I've kind of got enough. There we go, 4.6 movements is pretty good. Fine steel is selling for 203 here, so I will do that to reduce the outgoings a little bit. And I think we've got a nice little setup there for next time with our amounts and things. That brings me to say... thank you everybody who decided to pop in for the day. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or just come back. We do absolutely love to see it when people come back. I really enjoyed this very short stream. I think it's been a lot of fun kind of like experimenting with trying to do some explanatory stuff during the actual stream. It's probably more useful to people that way. That it actually has something informative in it. I'm going to attempt to cut those bits out eventually and make them a little bit more listenable and available and potentially useful by making them sectioned out and in their own little bit, so that people can be like, oh yes, I wish to know about X, and choose that. If you think that that's a good idea, or you think that you'd be interested in hearing some other stuff in Bannerlord explained, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I will be more than happy to accommodate in future. Thank you so much, anybody who ends up watching this. It's been a lot of good fun. Have a good one, guys. Bye.